Okay, so take a look at this property. On paper, it seems like an absolute dream investment. But behind all the impressive numbers, there's a fascinating and completely counterintuitive financial twist. Welcome to the Rhombus Paradox. So, the very first thing that just jumps right out at you when you analyze this place is this number, an estimated gross rental yield of 5.3%. Now, for a luxury property in a prime city location, that is exceptionally strong. It just screams high performance. And the location? Oh, it's just about as good as it gets. It's perched right on the highest peak in Bangsar, one of Kuala Lumpur's most prestigious and sought-after neighborhoods. The address alone is a huge mark of quality.
High yield, prime location. You're probably thinking what I was thinking. This has to be a perfect investment, right? I mean, it's a total slam dunk.
Well, you'd be wrong. And here's the kicker, the real gut punch. And this is a direct quote from the investment analysis. For an outside investor, the potential for your investment to grow in value is exactly zero. So how can a property be so good yet so bad at the exact same time? Let's try and solve this mystery. How in the world can a perfect property be something you should probably never, ever buy? You see, the key to this whole thing, this entire puzzle, it all comes down to a simple but really powerful catch in its ownership model. And here it is. Rhombus is what's called an exclusively for lease asset. So what does that even mean? Well, it means the developer never sells a single unit. Not one. They own all of them forever, and they only rent them out. It's not on the open market. You can live there, sure, but you can never, ever own it. Just think about how different that is. In a normal condo, it's simple, right? You buy it, the value goes up, and that profit, that's all yours. But with the Rhombus model, it's a totally different story. The developer owns it, the value goes up, and all of that profit goes straight into their pocket. As an outsider, you're just completely cut out of the picture. The company pulling the strings here is Beneton Properties. And by design, they are the only ones who benefit from this prime asset's rising value. It's a long game for them. They just collect that steady, high-end rent while holding onto an asset that's only getting more and more valuable. The rest of the market can only watch. So why does this whole lease-only model work so incredibly well for the developer? What is it about Rhombus that makes it such an attractive asset for them to hold on to? Well, for starters, it's all about scarcity. There are only, get this, 25 units in the entire development. This ultra-low density creates a level of exclusivity that's pretty much impossible to find anywhere else, making it a super desirable and premium address. And of course, that kind of exclusivity commands a serious price tag. The average monthly rent is around 22,000 ringgit. And that's what's fueling that incredible 5.3% yield we saw at the beginning. It's a serious cash flow machine. The units themselves are just massive, averaging about 4,000 square feet. So this isn't for your average renter. It's designed for a very specific high-end market that needs and can definitely afford that kind of space. And who exactly is this market? Well, we're talking about high-level expat executives and wealthy local families who are on stable long-term leases, which are often paid for by huge multinational corporations. This creates what's called an institutional-grade tenant base, which is just reliable, stable, and very, very low risk for the owner. But what's it actually like to live there day to day? I mean, an amazing rental yield and stable tenants are great for the owner. But what about the practical side of the location? The pros are pretty significant. You've got that irreplaceable hilltop prestige. You're just a short walk from the very high-end Bangsar Shopping Centre for groceries and dinner, and you've got quick car access to major highways, schools, and business centers. For the people it's aimed at, it's incredibly convenient. But, and this is a big but, there is a huge trade-off. That hilltop location makes walking to public transport basically impossible. It's steep, and the stations are way too far away. This means you are completely dependent on a car, and you get thrown directly into Bangsar's infamous, soul-crushing peak-hour traffic. So after looking at the finances, the lifestyle, and this unique ownership model, what's the final verdict for an individual investor, for someone like you or me? And here it is, laid out in the clearest possible terms. As an individual investor, your potential for capital appreciation? 0. Your ability to sell it for a profit? 0. And because you can't buy it, you can't even choose to live there as an owner. It's a completely closed loop. The crucial point to take away is this. Rhombus is a phenomenal, high-performing asset,
no question. But it was designed from the very beginning to be an institutional one, something for the public market to admire from a distance, but never, ever participate in. And that leaves us with a pretty provocative final thought. As more developers see the success of this lease-only model, could this become the future of prime urban real estate? A world of beautiful, high-end properties that are increasingly offered only as rentals, forever beyond the grasp of individual ownership. Definitely something to think about.